Hello, Wanderers. Welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series following Empress Ariadne of the Byzantine Empire. And as we pick things back up, it has been a few months since the end of the last episode where we completed that grand tour of Greece and Anatolia and really solidified our power during that time. As you can see, our vassals are overwhelmingly in favor of us, and that is really going towards the overall stability of this empire. It is probably one of the most stable that the Eastern Roman Empire has been in a long time, and also not only that, but also the largest that it has been in a long time. You can see we have almost all of Croatia here now. We have vassalized some more of the lords in this area. Obviously, we have the boot of Italy and Sicily, Carthage. We've got parts of Sardinia, Egypt, and of course the little bit of Crimea here. So this is a pretty big Byzantine empire. Oh, and don't even forget, we just have this random little bit of land in Bavaria. So it is a pretty strong empire. Now that we have brought stability to the realm, there's been a few years of peace, and things are going relatively well. We do have a faction that could pop up, a Liberty faction. They could potentially cause us some problems, but I'm not really too worried about them. And we probably could gain some of them over to our side if we needed to, but you know what, if they want to rebel, we can just crush them and then do with them what we will. But in the meantime, there's some things that I want to do, and that revolves around rewarding some of our loyal characters. Now, unfortunately, Helias Kallikratos, after he was given the Duchy of the Delta, he did have it usurped, unfortunately, by the claims of Princess Sophia the Honorable. She did have claims on it, and she pressed those claims against our vassal. Unfortunately, despite trying whatever we could to settle that dispute, it ended with Helias being ousted from his position. And we weren't able to bring him back to the court. He was kind of done with war and with fighting. And so he kind of started wandering. He was wandering about the lands, and then unfortunately died of some wounds at 71 years of age. So this great hero of the empire kind of died a very sad death and was not necessarily honored for his sacrifices, and that is something that we would like to correct now. We were going to potentially give some land to his son Neophytos, but that son unfortunately was killed during a raid. So yeah, an unfortunate end to the Kallikratos dynasty, but such is history sometimes. Some of these really important characters and figures in history are the ones that we do not even remember. They were lost to time, and Helias Kallikratos seems to be one such person. So it is a sad end to him, but we will unfortunately have to deal with that. But we do have many other loyal servants who need to be rewarded, and these are our counselor tier channel member characters. And I would like to reward them, and I would like to show that the Empress will honor those who serve her loyally. So we have here Zenon Sortes. He is unfortunately a leper, but he is one of our bodyguards, an acclaimed knight. He is the Knight of the Bull, I believe. And this is a strong, brave man who has fought for us well and has fought in all of our major battles since we started going to take our birthright. So he needs a reward now. Unfortunately, as a leper, he is unlikely to have any children at all. And thus we probably wouldn't make sense to give him land, but that doesn't mean that we can't reward him. We can reward him by giving him an item worthy of such a warrior, and that will be to give him the Mashriki Mace. Now, this is a flanged mace of fine craftsmanship. The wrought iron head is mounted on elegant wrought iron handle that has been inlaid with silver. So we're going to give him the Mashriki Mace, and that's going to boost up his prowess there even more, so you'll be an even better bodyguard. But I think that is a fine reward for such a man. Now we have these three other important characters. Agapitos of House Ergatis, who is our oracle and our court tutor. Nicandros Castellanos, and Alexander Prytanius. Now, these three have served us well since we were young. I mean, 14 years of age, we inherited the throne. We're 31 now. So they've been with us a long time, and I would like to reward them. So this episode's going to focus on getting them some rewards of land. Now, we could give somebody the Duchy of Sinai, but that's not an important piece of land or anything that we really care about too much. So we're going to find some better land. And we've got some plans here. So one of which is taking the Duchy of Philippopolis here, or Philippopolis. Yeah, that's something that we want to take. We are obviously going to try to go for Ali here at some point soon. I would like to take Cyprus, and we're going to try to do all of those things, including some of these lands over here over time. But these are some of the lands that I wish to give out to our vassals. But number one, we're going to go for Sardinia, and that is because there are 4 Sardinian pieces of land here that are all usually kind of allied with each other or things like that. Well, we're actually going to declare war on every single one of those. So we're going to declare war on you. We're going to do some holy wars here. Now, they all are Orthodox, which is in our advantage. That means that they will have less opportunities to call in allies against us, because obviously the majority of Orthodox lands are within us. There are some Orthodox, I mean, the Bulgarian kingdom, the Wallachian kingdom, and the Serbian kingdom, all Orthodox, as well as I believe Gardariki is turned Orthodox. So they might join in. I don't think Gardariki will, but potentially one of these will. I'm not too worried about that. And I'm not even particularly concerned with calling in any allies. We will if it looks like Bulgaria and Serbia start to join. They're not that powerful, but I do just want to essentially kind of be careful if we need to be, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I'm going to disband these 2 things here just so that we can ensure that when we call in the Holy Order, they are going to be called in right where we want them, in Cagliari. So we're going to raise all of our armies, and you can see here that a bunch of those armies are already kind of called up. I mean, the mercenaries, or the priesthood of Ares, is at the very least. We're going to send our brother in to go and deal with one of the enemy armies very quickly here while the rest of them build up. So that is going to give us a chance to get the rest of our armies filled out. We're going to be able to take our Borea here very easily. Let's send you in to go and deal with these guys. Romance. We are romancing Melissa Leonidas. We're trying to get a better, make her more than just a lover. So I'm intending a dance in Byzantium to spend time with Melissa. The mere thought of touching hands makes my heart jump, but when I arrive, I find her stuck in a conversation with Mayor Rodelinda of Siponto. The evil woman drones on and on, totally oblivious to her discomfort. And my charms can improve any conversation. Indeed, let us try that option there. So it looks like we've got, oh man, yeah, we have 3 armies, so we're very easily going to be able to deal with this situation. And looks like 2 of those armies should have, oh no, one of them's our siege army, so this army here is going to be doing all of the sieging, and then the rest of these armies are going to be going to deal with the enemy forces. So let's send these troops up here, and yeah, let's just go and deal with all of this. So dealing with your enemies this way is honestly a pretty effective tactic. If you have a bunch of small enemies, just go and fight them all at once, rather than having to deal with a bunch of wars that you have to stop and drop your troops and bring them back up. Just go and deal with them all at once if you have the capability of doing so, and it appears that we should very easily have the capability for that, especially because we have just become a strategist. Indeed, we are now a strategist, so we get +3 martial. Enemy fatal casualties increase, crossing rivers and straits without advantage penalties. Indeed, things are going quite well for us. And the sieges are going to just continue here. We captured a valuable prisoner, so one of those wars is already done with. We are just going to go and finish that one off. Then we will go and do these couple sieges here, and things shall all be good. We gained a level of devotion. That's what we were hoping for here. We are now a paragon of virtue. Surety of supply. No matter how formidable my soldiers are, if they run out of provisions while on campaign, they will serve me no better than trained squirrels. To this end, I should come up with a plan for ensuring my soldiers always have the supplies they need. Arrange for a network of merchants to help me. Stockpile supplies in my stronghold, or my soldiers can forage for their own supplies. We could just spend the money. I think we'll be okay to actually do this. Puts us in debt, but we'll be out of debt very quickly. Girlish charm. Try as I may, the affections of my lover Melissa still elude me, but I feel I'm onto something great. With my tutelage over my daughter Hippolyta, I may be able to succeed in my courtship yet. A little nudge, and perhaps Hippolyta would sing of my virtues and prove that I have a way with children that any woman would find irresistible. Let's do it. I won't resort to this now. I don't think that's something that we would do. So there we go. That battle went pretty well. This siege is done. We can go and move in with the other siege here. Honestly, we probably don't even need this army anymore. So we'll send them in, I suppose, but things here are pretty much done. This is the priesthood of Ares here that is coming in. So let's get these sieges done and taken care of. Gonna make sure to provide our trusted and loyal servants with whatever they need. Let's go in and just make sure. Oh no, we don't want to send everybody in. Let's send just one army in, just to go in and make sure. Nah, I mean, didn't even need to. I thought there was a little more troops than that. Seems that there was not. Are they gonna come in and try to cross the strait? That would be foolish of them, but looks like they're going to do it anyways, so. You can see our siege equipment is pretty significantly improved. We do have some mangonels as well, so things are... Oh, but they're unraised for some reason. Oh, unstationed. We can also use our charms to improve a conversation with Despot Sabas of Magna Graecia. Very well. Hopefully things will go well in our romance. I mean, it's 100% chance to succeed. We're already lovers, so there we go. Another war is won. And this one, I didn't even notice that it was done. There we go. So there's just one war left, and then we will have all of Sardinia within the hands of the Empire here. So that was very quick. That was, what, less than a year here? We could actually get ourselves some ransoms. I suppose I could have been doing this, but you know, it's irregardless. And look, one of our vassals has brought us some money as well, so there we go. And that is done and done with. So all of these lands now belong to us. We can disband all of our armies, and what are we going to do with that? Well, I would like to create the Duchy of Sardinia. How much is that going to cost? 175. We can create it. Who are we going to give this duchy to? And it's a pretty good duchy indeed. We'll let them pretty much have all of the counties here, and that will make them a relatively powerful vassal there. So I think the most fitting to hold the Duchy of Sardinia is probably going to be Nicandros Castellanos, because he originally hailed from near Sardinia here. So I think that it's, Sicily. So it's not too far from Sardinia, or to Sardinia, tongue twisters, for him to kind of inherit these new lands. So Nicandros Castellanos, you have served us well as our bodyguard and our personnel champion, and you deserve to hold some land in order to to be justly rewarded for what you have done. So we're going to give you basically all of the Duchy of Sardinia here, and you can spread out these lands however you wish. So there we go. And let's see how good of a ruler he is. Duke Nicandros of Sardinia, as Castellanos is going to be relatively powerful, I should say, now that they have taken all of these lands. So we're going to get rid of all of these. Those battles were not too important in any case. So there we go. The Holy Order has been dismissed, and now we can continue on with some other plans here. So we've rewarded one of our vassals, Duke Nicandros, and he will no doubt serve us very faithfully. Now, for the next one, let's, we're kind of testing out our warriors here, giving them experience, letting them prepare for some of the greater battles to come. Well, I think that one that we are going to do is to take the Duchy of Philippopolis here. We're going to do a holy war for the Duchy, or Philippopolis. There we go. A lot of tongue twisters in this episode. We are going to do this one. There may be some people who join the war against us. Not really too worried about this. You can see that they are vastly inferior to us, so I think that we are going to be okay. We're going to raise up all of our troops here in, I imagine we'll just rally them right here. We're going to call in the Holy Order, and we're going to raise all of our armies here. So let us do so. And that should give us, things are going to go probably pretty quickly and smoothly here too, I would imagine. So we will need to go and take some of their land once these troops are raised up. Priesthood of Ares can be led by our brother. And let's just kind of get to sieging there. So that army is up. Let's go and get this one here. We do have some troops coming in from behind. Not particularly concerned about that. Zenon Sortes, unfortunately, died under mysterious circumstances. That's concerning that our bodyguard would die under mysterious circumstances. So unfortunately, Zenon Sortes of House Sortes was seemingly murdered. Romance, so the wild hunt. Melissa suggested a hunt, and we organized one, stalking through the underbush. But suddenly we hear a woman scream. It appears to be our lover, Melissa. So let's go and aid her. There's not a lot of variety to these, falling in love events in this game, is there? Within what must have been like a minute, but felt like an hour, I reached the clearing. Melissa's on the ground before me, disheveled and weaponless. Opposite her, just about to strike, stands a huge stag. My arrow strikes true and the beast falls to the ground. For a moment, all she can do is stare, but then she stumbles towards me and throws herself in my arms. There we go. So we're going to actually have her become our soulmate. I just think that that's a nice little element to the story of the Basilisa here. So one thing I do want to be very, very careful with is that we have brought peace to the Empire. So it's very important to me that we do not allow any lands within the Empire be sieged down. Now, people can try to siege, but we are going to do our best to stop any sieges before they happen. Are we going up against our own? I did not know one of our vassals could go up against us in a war. Huh. That is very interesting. And I did not even know that was possible. So we're actually going to have to deal with some of our own vassals. Oh, and we're pregnant. Very good. Well, that's curious indeed, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference, and I don't think it's going to change our plans at all here. So let's go and... All right, let's see. I don't want to just send just the Priesthood of Ares in here. We're going to get the rest of our army here to meet up. Where are you fleeing to? We might be able to catch them here, but our forces are still taking some time to gather up. Oh, and we have another cadet branch, Argeus Rashid. Very cool. Let's see. Should we let the... I mean, it says we're going to win decisively, so... Oh yeah, because the Optimatoi troops fled from the scene of battle here, so... The Omen, a local mystic, insisted on seeing me, and upon being brought into my presence, she started wailing and... Is that blood on her hands? The signs are not in your favor, my lady. I spilled the intestines of a hen, and the blood showed me your future. It's full of dark and death. Well, that's ominous. So we had a bad omen. I'm really starting to think that somebody is trying to assassinate us. I'm almost certain somebody's trying to assassinate us. And we should, and it's probably, you know, I think we probably know who it is. It's probably Epiphania the Fair. I mean, unfortunately, we won't be able to do anything about her. Do we have everybody we need to ensure our safety? We've got cupbearers. We've got ladies in waiting can help as well. So let's get a very loyal lady in waiting here. Point. We've got bodyguards, and we could probably, you know, let's get some more though here. So this guy's good, and he is loyal. So Ursus Ragan Perting. Yeah, all right. Need to replace Xenon, so, and perhaps Theocharistos Marzapoulos. That should be fine as well. He's very loyal, so there we go. That should help that we've got some bodyguards now. So. Not quite as worried about the potential murdering going on. You know what? Let's let the priesthood of Ares deal with these guys, and then we're gonna go and get the sieging down. Should we go and send some people? Should we just go straight for the capital of Serbia here? We'd have to go through Bulgaria. We'd lose quite a bit of troops. Can we go up? Maybe. Yeah, let's go in through our lands and then we'll pop up through there. Probably least chance of suffering from a lot of attrition in a siege. Our son has learned the Serbo-Croatian language. All right, we should be able to win this fight. It's good. Let's see if our son can learn another language here. Qua? Probably not as useful as, say, the Magyar language or something of that nature. All right, looks like we're going to catch the enemy army. Hopefully our uncle, Prince Apollonios, the head of the priesthood of Crete, is going, yeah, looks like he's going to win this pretty successfully here. We're going to send our troops over in, and, oh, there we go. We've got the siege down. Let's head over to Philippopolis here. I'm just going to call it Philippopolis because I'm never going to get this right. There we go. Defeated the enemy army here. I can't believe our own vassals are allowed to fight with us against us in a holy war. I hope we get some like claims to imprison them or something like that. In any case, we should probably deal with this army here. Ah, there we go. Some of them are going to get up onto the ships, and we should be able to at least hit some of their armies. I took Hippolyta out playing with a bow, and to my surprise, she ran into a wounded doe. She later lashed out at me, thinking I had staged the whole encounter. This could make her paranoid. This is our daughter. Then show me you could have felled this animal yourself. You know what? Let's, I don't know if she needs to be ambitious. Doesn't really fitting. Princess Constantina, on the other hand, I wouldn't mind if she became ambitious. Let's head over. Ah, and looks like we did engage in this battle here. It's actually kind of could potentially go against us. I wasn't really paying as much attention as I might have hoped. Let's see how things play out. Oh, it is turning slightly in our favor here. There we go. So actually, I was a little worried. If we got captured there, that would suck. But no, it looks like Queen or Basilisa Ariadne has the strength and the knowledge to defeat an army this size. So that is pretty good to see. Some of our court artifacts are getting destroyed, but I'm not really too worried about that. We have an excess amount of court artifacts. So got another army here. So we do have quite a few small groups of forces that are coming in to essentially try to stop this invasion, but I'm not too worried about it. I think that we are going to manage to handle this war pretty well here. They have 6,000 troops. We've got 12,000. We should be fine. We had another daughter. What shall we name her? Euphemia. Very well. I think that is a fine enough name. She presumably will be born in the purple. I guess they get that trait a little bit later. 2,700. Well, you're going to get caught here by the forces of Ares, so that should handle that battle pretty good. And then we've got some sieging going on over here as well. So yeah, I think things are going reasonably well. I'm not too worried about how this war is going to go. We just got to make sure that we are watching our troops, and really, like I said, we don't want to let any of our lands get sieged down, because I think that that would be considered a failing on the part of the Basilisa, who has really tried to bring stability to the empire and has done a pretty good job of it so far. So this one is sieged, so let's go and maybe take Kran as well. Yeah, all right, let's try to get that. We'll siege down as many places within the duchy as we can, and that should give us all the war score we need here. Meanwhile, we're getting a couple pretty good battles in, and yeah, I don't think we can handle quite that many. Let's bring our forces back together here. You know what, let's bring the priesthood of Ares up, and we'll gather them up here as well. And I think that should give us enough forces we can go down and hit this army as soon as Rhodopes is done and sieged. Looks like Princess Constantina is a charming character. We'll keep an eye on this one. Question is she going to become intrigue or diplomacy? I'm curious to see. We haven't done an intrigue character yet in this series, so that could be pretty fun, I think. I'd like to do a learning character at some point too, but it doesn't seem like our heir here is going to be that character. The siege is about done. There we go. Let's move in and tackle these armies together. Oh, they're coming for us, but we should have a pretty good advantage here, I think. Meanwhile, the rest of our forces are going to go down and take care of the sieges. So, oof, sucks for this very small army here. And yeah, they're all just splitting up. They're terrified of what's going on here. So I think that we are going to have the significant advantage in these battles. And yeah, even when their reinforcements come in, it is not enough to stop us. And we send them running here. Indeed we do. Our forces need to get their food back. So let's go and send these troops in to deal with that. They have enough food to handle that for now. There we go. Resupplying. You should be all good. And then, yeah, I think the war is probably going to be done once we get this county. But you know what? We might need to take Burgas as well. So you can get another martial perk. We are going to go down with Serve the Crown. This is just going to bring back our stability even more, because people will be terrified of this empress, and indeed they should. She might be just, but justice can be a lot. Siege of Argos. Where? Okay, this isn't necessarily against us, or it's an internal one within the realm, so that doesn't quite count. But yeah, it looks like Epiphania or Duchess Pavlina is dealing with some unfortunate circumstances there. So let's get these armies in to deal with that. You can go and maybe siege this down. Should be fine. Yeah, you don't have too much supplies, but they'll probably be okay. They're just undersupplied, so they're not running out of food yet. Let's get rid of all these. Our counselor, Mateos, died of old age. Well, that was our spy master. We need a new spy master. Despot Gerasimos. I still don't trust him since what happened before, but he is a powerful vassal. Do we put him in the spy master position? I don't know if we do. Yeah, I think that I'd much rather put Duchess Kira in charge because she's very loyal and she's very skilled at her job. So, you know, we might anger some of these powerful vassals, but that is, you know, I'm completely fine with that. They can try to rise up against us if they wish, but they will certainly suffer the consequence of that. Fresh converts, conversion fervor. That is, what does that do? Nice levy size. We are trying to convert Byzantium here, Constantinople, to Hellenic, but it's going to take 18 years because obviously it's a huge population. So, but once it's done, things will be looking a lot better for us. Oh, a holy order has been called against us. Well, the priesthood of Ares fears no brotherhood of the Holy Sepulchre. That doesn't sound frightening at all. Does Duchess Epiphania go in and deal with these guys here on her own? I think maybe she does. We expose the Theodoro Pachokis' lover secret. Oh, that's unfortunate for her, but let's see if we can go and catch these enemy armies here. Yeah, I think that the Empress here will be able to easily handle this army. Yeah, look at that. They're running. They're running like cowards. We should be able to handle them easily, and I think that that will probably give us the war once we... Yeah, let's see here. We're already at max from battle, so yeah, we just need to do one more siege, and then that should be that done and dusted. So a pretty successful war, I would say. You know, we lost a few troops, but you know, we were fighting a pretty big coalition here. So the fact that we were able to defeat them, I think, is a pretty good sign. Oh, and the King of Akan, his court, is speaking Greek? Really? Core languages. Greek? That's interesting. I guess we've exported Greek to the far reaches of the world. Wonder if any of these lands are gonna start speaking Greek too. And look at this, Greek is just extremely... Yeah, it's the court language of practically this entire region, so that's cool to see. The Greek culture has spread very far, and it is obviously incredibly prestigious. So this siege being done is probably going to win us the war here. And there we go. So we get the Duchy of Philippopolis and all those lands within it. And now we can offer this as a reward as well. And we are going to offer this one to Alexander Prytanis. Now, Alexander, as you all remember, does hold that claim on Naxos, and he came to us wanting to get his family holdings here in Naxos back. Unfortunately, we were not able to do that. We can't... We're a just character, and revoking the title from somebody who reasonably well holds that, and is also from the House of Macedon, seems like something that would be very politically disadvantageous, but we can at least try to give him a reward nonetheless. And now he might not necessarily be happy with this, but I think that perhaps he might, just because of the fact that we are going to be giving him a pretty big land and a pretty important piece of land here. So let's see. What about the duchy title here? Can we usurp this? We can. There we go. So the duchy has been usurped. And we're going to give Alexander Prytanis the Duchy of Philippopolis. So And that's going to be some pretty extensive lands here that he is going to be taking. So I think that that should be a pretty just reward for a very able servant here. So he is now Duke Alexander of Philippopolis of House Britannius here, and he does have a young son who will inherit after him. So that is very good to see indeed. And look at that, our borders are looking nicer by the minute. Now we do have one more vassal that we would like to reward, and that is Agapatos Ergatis. And we are going to give him a reward that is fitting of such a man, and that would be to take the island of Cyprus here from the Isaids and take it back for ourselves. Now, this could be a little bit more difficult. We might need to call in some of our allies, but luckily it won't be a holy war, so he won't be able to call in anybody more than his allies here. So, and some of these, you know, might not necessarily be of that much help to him. So he is pretty strong, but I think that we will be able to do this. So we are going to declare that war on the Emir of the Isaids, which is still reasonably powerful for what they have there. Let's see. I would like to just go and siege this down like really quickly. So let us create one here. We're gonna break this. We're gonna break this. And I wish I could just raise only our, like, we might actually be able to. Can we just raise you one by one? I don't think you can. Oh wait, you can. So yeah, there we go. So we're just gonna raise all of our regiments here, and then we're going to raise the rest of our army over here in order to kind of face them on the land. So then let's raise all of our armies here, and we will obviously call in the Holy Order as well. They might already actually be... No, I don't think they are called in. Well, in any case, should be fine here. Yeah, you know what? Let's break down this one now. And then let's just raise up all of our armies. So there we go. And let's send our regiments in here to siege down Famagusta, and then we'll just go and meet up with the rest of our troops. We'll gather up all of our armies, and then we'll just move straight down south here. And the capital of the Isaids is actually reasonably close, so we should be able to take that pretty quickly here. So, and we have a chivalric spouse which gives us advantage +2. Excellent. This siege should go relatively quickly. We'll put a siege commander in charge. Prince Apollonius, you can manage that. Let's gather up our forces together here. And we'll actually get them to... You know, we should probably split them up so that they can fill up their forces with lots of food and supplies and things like that. Oh, okay. We do have the enemy army coming in here. That's actually... Yeah, okay, I should have figured that they would be doing that. Well, what can we do to stop this here? Let's go and put a rally point back here. We'll break this one down. Let's raise up all of our armies. Can we get the Holy Order? Are they already raised? I believe they are. Do we call in some mercenaries just to try to assist with that? I'm not even sure how many troops are going to be raised with this, but we could call in a small amount of mercenaries. Yeah, let's try it. Let's give our retinues the best chance they have of succeeding here. So, and we'll probably put somebody in charge who's a good defender. Who would be our best? Yeah, let's try to get Count Alexios in there. So we want to take him off of whatever army he's on right now. Not you, not you. Not entirely sure where he is. He might be with one of these anyways, so. Yeah, okay. So the enemy army, they did come in here. You know what? Let's bring up our troops and let's head them all over here. We'll retreat from the battle. That was kind of a bad plan. I kind of thought that they might try to come over the land, but I wasn't necessarily expecting them to come in so quickly onto the island. They got a lot of troops there. So how do we deal with that? Let's get our troops into the water first and foremost. This army is going to get crushed. So this was actually, unfortunately, a bad strategic move by us in this moment. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we will lose this war. Let's try to get our troops here as quickly as we can. Gather them all up, and can you move here? Are you going to get there in time? I'm not sure. And do we bother sending in? Let's gather up our troops here. Yeah, this was a bad strategic play. Let's try to retreat if we can. We'll gather all of our armies up in Nicosia, and then we should be okay. Let's retreat. If any of them survive, some of them do, surprisingly. So let's gather up our forces, and then we'll hit the enemy army here. So yeah, a bad strategic play, but we might actually be able to pull off a victory nonetheless. We shall see. Let's put our best commander in charge. This would be... Okay, you know what? Let's just go and take Famagusta. They're setting sail to on the seas, and... Oh yeah, and we're out of money. Oh, it's because we sent so many troops on their boats. Somebody wants to play us in a game of Tabula. Well, I don't know if we'll... I mean, do we accept? All right, well, let's test our strategic knowledge. You think you can outthink me? I've read entire manuals on Tabula. And, you know, let us say that this is such a taxing game. I'm not going to read all this out. I'm more concerned with the battle here. But we did win the game. That was an excellent match. How does it feel to lose, little woman? I'd love to play again sometime. You know what? Let's say that. There we go. Yeah, so hopefully, you know what? They're going to come in. I wonder if they're going to drop... Okay, now they're going onto land. Well, this siege should go pretty quickly, and then we can go and deal with their forces on the land. We should be able to get our troops back up, and then things will be going reasonably well. Get our daughter to be honest here. Do we call in our allies? You know what? We could call in the French here, you know, just to ensure. They do have quite a few troops, and it seems like we might have a little bit of difficulty dealing with this just on our own. And can we call in anybody else? I don't... we can call in our house member. Very well. We might as well. So that should... Yeah, and then we're going to get the siege down here. So although things were looking a little rough there in the beginning, this was the most difficult of the three wars here. Yeah, look, he's got a lot of troops. He called in those holy orders, yeah. So, you know what, it's probably good that we called in the King of France, but I'm pretty sure that we are going to be able to manage this. Oh, it costs so much money to send those troops in. Do we disband them? 8 months to return home? I mean, we're going to go into debt, but that is what it is. I'd rather get my troops there much more quickly here. So as we prepare to finish off this battle and capture the island of Cyprus, it has been split here for so long, but I think we can all agree that it would be nice to see Cyprus fully held within the hands of the empire. And despite some, you know, difficulties in the beginning there, I think that this will end up being a rousing success for the Empire. And like I said, we're going to do our best to prevent them from sieging down any of our lands. So That will be all in the next episode. Until then, thank you for watching.